Hey guys, welcome back to Money is Blind podcast. I'm your host Prasoon, and in this episode, I'm going to tell you what happened when I conducted the interview of Samuel or Sam from the Blind Life YouTube channel. So, we have been talking about this interview for the last 1 week. Actually, this interview it was scheduled 2 months back in January 2023. Sam is a busy guy. He's a popular figure when it comes to assistive technology and accessibility for low vision users. He's an expert. He keeps traveling. He's a great guy. He loves to travel and he has more than 780 videos in his YouTube channel. And I recently joined his membership in YouTube. And when I requested him for an interview, he was kind enough to grant me that interview, and everything went well. I prepared for the interview. I had 10 12 questions and I cut it down to 9 questions in the end. I've been talking about this interview in the last week. If you haven't listened to those episodes, you can scroll up and find those episodes. So it was March 24th, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Indian time, and in Lexington, where Sam stays, it was 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that's a difference of 9 hours and 30 minutes. When I got back from work, I reached home back at 5 p.m. This is what happened on Friday. So when I reached back from work at 5 p.m., I had my PA, Shamnaz, was there with me. So I was planning to record. That was my MacBook. Sorry about that. So I was planning to record this interview in Google Meet. I had already shared a link with Sam, and I was planning to use QuickTime Player, which comes built in every Apple computers. And I recorded many shows, some of the seminars, some online classes that I conducted. I recorded them all using QuickTime, and all of them were conducted on Google Meet because it is easy. It is not that hard, and everything works. The quality is also not bad. It's not excellent, but it's not bad either. So I had to test whether everything is working or not. So when Shamnaz and I reached back home, we created a demo meeting in Google, and Shamnaz was using his phone, and I was using the MacBook, using which I was planning to record the interview. So we joined the meeting and I launched the QuickTime Player. And this time I wanted to do it alone, independently, because I didn't want to engage my personal assistant as he was fasting because of Ramadan. This is the holy month of Ramadan for Muslims, and he was fasting, and I didn't want to bother him again after 8 hours of work. So when I reached back home, we just ran this test, and I launched this meeting in Safari in my MacBook, and Shamnaz joined using his office mobile phone, and we recorded. No, I recorded the interview using QuickTime Player. I was able to switch the applications using Alt and Tab key, and when QuickTime was there, I was able to start a new screen recorded movie. And pressing on the record button was very simple. We recorded for like 1.5 minutes, and Shamnaz PA, he his voice was also getting recorded. My voice, I was using this Samsung microphone, and this was the first time that I was recording an interview using this microphone. All the other classes and seminars that I conducted using Google Meet that I recorded in QuickTime, I have used the lavalier microphone, which can be clipped onto my shirt, but not this time. This time I wanted my voice to be a little bit of higher quality. So I decided to go with Samsung microphone, and I connected it. Everything went well. After recording the 1.5 minutes clip, I stopped the recording and I played back, and it was working. It was good. My voice was loud, clear, and crisp, just as expected. But Shamnas, it was okay. It was not bad. It was average, but it was okay for an interview. So that's what I thought. Quick time, yeah. So then Shamnas left. He had to break his fast, and time went by. I had a quick game session with my son. We played Monopoly, and after that, they were getting ready to go to my parents' house. And so we had our dinner early at 7, and they got ready. I was all set for the interview. I joined at 7:25 p.m. and within 1 or 2 minutes, Sam joined. He was sharp on time, and we had a quick chat. So I thought I would start recording in the QuickTime player after Sam joins when we start the conversation. So that was a bad idea because when Sam joined, I found it a bit difficult to switch between apps, and but still I had to make him wait, and that felt odd, to be honest. And then everything started. I recorded the episode, and I pressed on the record button, and then it was spot on. The interview started. I asked my questions, and Sam was not expecting the kind of questions that I had prepared for him. He was really sharp. He had all the answers ready. He was transparent and honest, and he was also using a microphone, and that made a huge difference in the sound, his sound quality. After pressing on the record button, I never had to think about the recording. We just went through the questions. I had my iPhone with me, where I had the notes applications in which I had typed all the questions, and I just had to shoot the questions, and Sam was ready with those answers. And the interview, it went well. He enjoyed the interview. I hope so. He said the questions were good. I too enjoyed the interview because any low vision user could have learned a huge deal from Sam's words. He had the experience. His YouTube channel was like 10 years old, and he has more than 53,000 subscribers on YouTube, and most of his videos had more than 20-30,000 views, and some of them he even had more than 100,000, 200,000 views. So he was a passionate guy. He loved what he did. He used to edit the videos himself. Sometimes it took longer, but he used to make it perfect. He was determined, disciplined, and the interview went well. And by 8:30 p.m. Indian time, I finished my questions. It was time to say goodbye, and I promised I will send him the link of the edited podcast because this interview was going to be a big one, the first one in Money is Blind podcast. And I was excited. He was excited. I could feel the excitement. We ended the interview. After that, it was time for me to check the recorded video. I didn't go for recording a voice clip. I went ahead with recording the video itself because I thought it would make a great change. So when I pressed on the play button, everything changed. My voice, it was crystal clear, and Sam's voice, though I was able to hear him perfectly all right during the interview, only a feeble voice was recorded, and that was shocking. I couldn't understand why that had happened. So then I sat there, and I thought what had gone wrong, and then I understood. So initially, when we had this demo meeting with my PA, I was not using an earphone. The sound was coming out through the MacBook's built in speakers. But when Sam had joined for the real interview, I was not using the earphone, but then I plugged in the earphone just when Sam joined so that I could hear his voice. And I did that without thinking too much at that time. But that was the worst decision that I made, like in last 1 month. It was a small move. What I intended to do at that time was to hear him correctly and more clearly. That I was able to accomplish because when I plugged in the earphones, only I was able to hear him through the earphones, and and his voice was coming through the earphones and not through the MacBook's speaker. So it turns out that QuickTime records only the sound from the other side, only if it comes through the built-in speakers. So then I exported the file, and it was 5 gigabytes and 5.36 gigabytes. I tried my level best with my PA to amplify Sam's voice, and at times it was possible, but it was not enough. The quality was not there. There were times in the podcast where his voice was not at all heard. So I had to ditch that file and the interview is gone. So only if I had tested the demo meeting that evening with an earphone, I would have found out that this is going to happen. So maybe because in the last 75 episodes I have published in Money is Blind podcast, every time I was using this MacBook, I was using an earphone, and maybe that habit, that practice made me plug in those earphones at that time, the right time when the interview started, and that made the difference. If I had plugged those earphones when my PA was around, I would have figured it out and I would not have used the earphones for the interview. And today, Tuesday, it would have been published. But now we don't have an interview. I had the conversation, it was really awesome. But now I have to ask Sam again. I feel like I wasted his time, but I learned a great lesson. I was not able to sleep that night. I was thinking about my blindness and my dependency on personal assistants and other persons. If my PA was around, he would have noticed that the other persons, the Sam's voice was not getting recorded. But I thought I had it in my hands. I thought everything was going well. But now I learned a lesson. I'm not going to accept defeat or failure. I'm going to try again. I'm going to ask Sam for another interview, and this time I'm going to make it more fun, more enjoyable to him, so that we can record this interview one more time. That's my neighbor. I have no idea why she is using the mixer grinder at the middle of the night when I'm recording this podcast. Thank you. Oh no, she's not done. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to ask Sam for this big favor one more time. He said he will be traveling next week. So I hope we can do this interview and publish it at the earliest. So fingers crossed about how Sam is going to feel about this. I know he'll be angry and mad at me, but my fingers crossed. It is my fault. I should have been more careful It has never happened when I recorded a live class, a seminar or a webinar. It has happened when I recorded YouTube videos. Even it has happened 2 times with my current PA. He forgot to plug in the microphone. It has always happened with my PA because they forget to plug in the microphone, and I just talk into the lavalier mic clipped onto my shirt, and the voice, it's my PA's voice will be more louder, clearer when the final clip is heard because they are sitting close to the camera and not mine. So it has happened. It has happened like 3 or 4 times in the last 4 or 5 years, but never for a webinar that I tried to record. But this is the first time. So Sunday and Saturday, those 2 days, I spend most of my time searching for a good application that I can use, or which is going to make sure that I don't lose the recordings. So it could have gone wrong even if Google Meet doesn't work, even if internet connections goes wrong, right? So I done my research and I found this application which is called StreamYard, and StreamYard allows you to record up to 5 hours, I think, every month. And they have plans. They allow you, it's a streaming platform. It allows you to stream to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook pages, groups, and all. And you can get a recording because StreamYard records locally in your computer as well as in the other person's computer. It stores it locally for the best quality file, and it also saves a copy in the cloud. So you can download it from StreamYard's website after the recording, and you can use it for podcast or even for a video podcast. It can also be used as a streaming software, just like OBS Studio. So I'm planning to use StreamYard for my upcoming interviews, and that's how I am going to make sure that nothing gets screwed up. So it is a bit more challenging. I will have to depend on my PA because it's not as easy as Google Meet and QuickTime. It's not like you can press just one button. There are so many effects and options and settings that you need to change when you are recording in StreamYard. But for the better quality recording, for better results, I think I will have to stick with it, and I will have to conduct a webinar. This week, I am planning to conduct a webinar on promoting my perfect weight coaching program for Dough4D, and I'm planning to use StreamYard for that so that I can get started with it and get a hang of how it feels and how it can be used. So that's the big news that I had shared with you guys. It's been a roller coaster ride all these days. Recording these podcasts was easy. I thought it would be the same when it comes to a live interview, and oh boy, I was wrong. I should have been a bit more careful. I should have been a little more cautious. So I learned my lesson. I am hopeful. No, I know I will change because I've been always a learner. So that's it. That's how the first interview on the Money is Blind podcast went. So you guys might be laughing now, but I promise you I'll be back with another interview, and it will be published in this podcast very shortly. So till then, keep listening. Follow the show, subscribe to the show, give your reviews. If you are enjoying this show, please give me a 5-star review. It really motivates me. It helps me keep going forward. All right then. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.